There comes a time in your life where peace just feels right. You stop explaining, stop chasing, stop proving your intentions, and you do not allow chaos to have access to you anymore, to your mind, to your emotions, to your energy. Being unavailable to chaos isn't being cold or distant, it is being self protective and choosing peace every time, every single time for yourself. Chaos can look like a bunch of different things. You know, you can have people who cause chaos continuously in your life. Lots of drama, like emotional roller coasters, like everything. And you attract what you are too. So when you're allowing chaos, you're just going to attract more of it because you're saying to the universe, I allow this behavior, this treatment. Sometimes chaos isn't loud, it's quiet, it's like it's overthinking, and it's people pleasing, and it is replaying conversations over and over and over again, right? Over analyzing situations. And you need to ask yourself, like, what drains me, and make note of that, and take accountability to what you are doing wrong in that situation with being in chaos. I honestly, like, I used to be very much surrounded by chaos. It just seems like there's always a drama, and everybody around me always had drama too. And it was very exhausting to continuously be in that kind of environment. And it wasn't just even, you know, friendships or family or anything like that. It was even like work, being in that work environment where you're having like chaotic people and toxicness and stuff like that. And there's certain treatments that I allowed that just brought more chaos into my life, instead of me changing my mindset and realizing that I actually don't need these things in my life, these people, or even in a work environment. Like, you don't actually have to tolerate certain behaviors and don't actually have to indulge in that chaos. And like, I feel like I was available to it because I was like very much trying to like fix others, and very much like had emotional attachments to people and to certain patterns. And I actually was thinking about this lately when I was on a walk, and I was like, you know, it was so familiar to me to be in like cycles of like a roller coaster of events. It was so normal. Like, I honestly thought it was just the most normal, like this is how everybody was living. But it's not. It's not normal, and actually you don't actually have to live that way. And when I started realizing that, and you know, on my journey, my healing journey, and I started to put myself in situations that were not like that. At the beginning, it felt very like unfamiliar, but then it started to become so familiar to have peace and to not have drama that now having like anything but that is uncomfortable. Like, it's just not something that I'm used to anymore. And that's how I knew, like, when chaos was like starting to become uncomfortable, I was like, okay, this is like, I'm healing, because now this is something that would have been so normal for me, that now that it's like something that's not normal, it's like, it's showing the growth that is happening with my life. And you need to detach from like chaos. Like, you need to detach from it. Like, you need to realize and have that moment that this is not worth it anymore. To be in these environments, in these situations. Like, this is the thing too, is when you're in chaos, it's such a big distraction to what you really should focus on. And for me, I felt like I could never really get far with my own personal growth, or my goals, because I was so distracted by all of this other chaotic things that were happening in my life. And now I'm at that place where I'm like, I have so much peace that I can like really focus on my goals and like actually see, like, I'm sticking with things. Like, I'm going further than I've ever seen myself go before. Because usually when I get to a certain point, I allow chaos back in. I get pulled right back in. And then my life is like right back to the same thing again that I worked so hard to get out of. So I think this is the first time that I'm actually like, you know, seeing like over that hill that I never used to get over. And like, you need to detach from it. Like, detaching from chaos, it just creates clarity. And what could detaching look like? It could be not reacting to things anymore, not observing things, um like not being a part of those things anymore, taking yourself out of that equation. Like, I don't actually have to be in this situation, and not reacting to it. Let people be people and let them do their thing, and you don't have to be a part of it. And like, you just need to have that mindset that this doesn't deserve my energy, and keep saying that to yourself. Like, like, I actually don't need to respond to this or react to this. It doesn't deserve my energy. And when you have that mindset, it's so much easier to detach from it and to let it go. And like, you need to have like energetic boundaries too, right? Like, you don't be around people who cause chaos. And like, or if you have people who, they're doing this stuff, like, set a boundary with them that you're not going to no longer be a part of that situation with them anymore. Like, you can do what you do, I love you, but I'm not, like, that can't be in my life anymore. And I've had to set a lot of boundaries with like family and friends, a lot with family too. And it's just even saying like, I'm not going to go to this place anymore if this other person's there, because for me, like, it's draining. It's too draining to be around this person. So like, I still love everybody, but I'm taking myself out of that situation. And that's a boundary. And I've said it so many times because people always try to push my boundary, or like they don't, in the past I wasn't told that this person was going to be there. So I would have been caught off guard if I went to this thing and I saw this person. So I've now set so many boundaries that people just now, they respect it, because they know I'm not giving in at all to this situation. Stop like matching energy. You just choose to be calm, and that's how you lead with the calmness. Like, you don't like, if someone is being especially like in your face about things and stuff, don't match them with that same energy. Just remain calm. And I've done this so many times, and honestly, I think a lot of people, they expect you to react. So when you're calm like this, it really, you're saying to them like, I'm not putting up with this. And that's how you set those energetic boundaries. And like, you attract different when your nervous system is regulated too. So when you start doing that stuff inside you and like calming yourself and not being reactive, you will attract less people who are like that, and you attract less drama and events that are chaotic. And protecting your peace, like, it means disappointing people who benefit from your chaos. Like, people, they enjoy watching you react and being that way. And I had so many people in my life who were not good for me, and then they would do things purposely to get me to react. And it's people like that I just remove from my life completely, because I can't be around people who like benefit off of that. And now I choose to be peaceful and around people who, match that energy of calmness to me. And that's how I, protect my energy. Like, you have to, because then you're going to have people who drain you. And when you're drained, it's just, you lose yourself in that. You lose yourself completely. And like, you need to practice daily grounding practices, and focus on that. So like, for me, it's like having a slower morning, and not, especially in mornings, because when you wake up, your thoughts start going and your mind starts going, and you start stressing about things and worrying about the day and all the things you got to do. So I really try to not focus on that in the morning, and just take a minute and say the things I'm grateful for, and just start the day like with calmness, like intentional calmness. And journal prompts, like, what would peace do for me today, and things like that, right? Like, just start your day feeling like these are things I'm grateful for. Like, if you journal, that's a great thing to journal. And just setting the intention that you're going to have a calm, peaceful day. And it really makes a difference, because like, you're already putting that frequency out there that this is what you want to attract, and you will attract it. And like, if you're in situations where people are trying to get you to react, or you're being triggered in that way, and you're being trying, like, you're being almost trying to be, sorry, you're being almost pulled into the chaos. Take some deep breaths before you react. Like, don't react right away. And I was so bad at this all the time. And it was actually like just now, like the last few months, where I was like, I actually don't need to respond right away. Like, I can actually take time and space before I even answer these messages. And in doing so, like, you're not in that emotion, because you put space between how you felt when you read those messages to responding. And then you can respond in a more appropriate, calm way. Because if somebody's all fiery and you respond with fire, you're just creating more fire and you're inviting chaos into your life. So that's my advice for like trying to avoid chaos. And visualize like a protective bubble of calm around you. Like, go around and, like, when you're walking and stuff, just vision like you're in a bubble of peace. And it's really good to do that, because then you create a mindset, and you're not allowing certain things in this bubble, and you won't tolerate things. So as you go through your day and events are happening, you just let it go. Let it go. And like, spend some time like alone, as much as possible. Like, as not as much as possible, but like, honestly, you need to put space between yourself and other people and the way they think and how their lives are. You need that space to make sure that you can stay in the calmness that you created for yourself. And like, when you start doing these things, people might be like, oh, you changed, right? Because now you're not putting up with things that you used to. And to other people, they'll say you changed. And a lot of people have said that to me. You've changed. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, because now I don't allow you to walk all over me. Now I don't allow you to take from me and drain me without giving anything in return, right? And that's the thing, is like, that really says a lot about them, and it's not so much a reflection of who you are, but more of what they are. Because if people are saying you changed because you have boundaries now, then that's like a red flag for that relationship. And like, let them misunderstand you. Like, you don't owe anyone access to your peace, to your energy. Like, it's yours to protect, and you don't actually have to allow anyone in it that is not matching the same energy you're giving. And it's super important to protect your peace. Super important. I lived in so much chaos, and I allowed so many people in my life that shouldn't have been in my life. And like, I'm grateful for all the experience I have, because then I couldn't be the person I am right now. But it was so difficult to be in those situations and to be constantly in these chaotic moments with people. And it was so much like, I felt very lost. Like, I wasn't being myself. I wasn't, being true to who I was. I was following these people and going chaotic and doing chaotic things that I would never do. And now I have to learn to forgive myself for doing those things. But like, it's super important that you have the right people in your life, and that you are doing the right things in your life, and protecting your peace. Because when you get drawn into chaos, it's just, the drama that comes with it is exhausting. And I won't allow it ever again, to be honest. Like, I won't. And if you're somebody who's coming into my life and you have that, like, I understand life's hard and we all have our ups and downs. But as a person, like, for me, when I have hard days and good days, I'm always like very consistent with being calm and not reacting, and just staying in the like, okay, well, this is what the situation is, and like looking at the positive for it. So, and like, solutions, right? Like, I'm not one of those people that like, something happens and then I don't try to figure out a solution. I always try to figure out a solution right away. And so, being that type of person and stuff, like, I need people in my life who are on that same wavelength that I am. Because if you don't have people who think that same way, then it creates a lot of drama, and you have a lot of people who will suck you into it. And I'm telling you, once you feel peace, you do not want to go back to any chaos at all. And like, life gets slower. Like, it just gets more meaningful. It gets more like, it's slower. Like things are not so like a roller coaster. It's very like this. And it's like you just feel good because your nervous system is regulated and you're at a relaxed, stable state instead of being like in panic modes and stuff, right? Like, and you attract like people when you're in that state and opportunities that reflect that. And it's just a beautiful thing. And it matches your energy. Like, you don't need to fight for peace, and you don't need to, you just stop entertaining chaos.